Hello and welcome to the channel. Mike Hobbs here with yet another insane Steel Path spellcasting build with Dante. With this setup, Dante can easily provide the entire squad with an endless supply of overguard and spam his own attacks to clear rooms of Steel Path enemies. I find it very satisfying to cast spells, armoring myself and my allies, as well as decimating entire rooms with the rest of his kit. This is a very fun build that is easy to set up and excels in high-end content. As always, if I am enjoying a build, in Steel Path, I like to make a video to share it. Before we get started, if you found this video helpful or interesting, please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons. Also, don't forget you can catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/MikeHobbs. Without further delay, let's get started. Beginning with Dante's passive, which states that enemies killed by Dante's wand are automatically scanned for the codex. Nothing too crazy here, but it can be convenient as Dante's wand is an exalted weapon that can be modded to make securing kills and receiving free scans very easy. Noctua is Dante's one. As stated previously, this tome is Dante's exalted weapon. Its primary fire deals slash damage, and its alt fire deals radiation damage. This tome can also be modded and fit with an arcane to deal some significant damage. Dante's second ability is Light Verse. When cast, Dante provides overguard to himself and his allies. This is a great ability that scales with strength, allowing Dante to create a large amount of overguard quickly. On the obverse side, Dark Verse is Dante's third ability, which when cast has Dante conjuring slash damage on all nearby enemies. This ability is great for quickly priming entire rooms of enemies for follow-up attacks. And lastly, Final Verse is Dante's fourth ability. This ability combines casts of Light and Dark Verse to create more potent versions of them, as well as combining them for even more attacks. Casting Light or Dark Verses fills a page of the book icon on the right side of the screen, and casting a second Light or Dark Verse primes Final Verse. There are 4 total combinations for Final Verse. Casting 2 consecutive Light Verses and then Final Verse casts Triumph, a buff that grants even more health and overguard to the team. Casting 2 consecutive Dark Verses followed by Final Verse casts Tragedy, which condenses all slash, heat, and toxin damage into a single damage instance. A Light then Dark Verse followed by Final Verse will cast Word Warden, which gives Dante and his allies a copy of Noctua that attacks with their allies. Casting a Dark then Light Verse before Final Verse will result in Page Flight, which summons spectral birds called Peregrims to swoop in and attack enemies. With all the spells and abilities fully discussed, let's take a look at the components of this build. My mod setup leans heavily into strength, with duration as my secondary stat. With high strength, Dante can produce significant amounts of overguard for himself and his allies, and Dark Verse and Tragedy both deal solid damage. The extra duration allows for Page Flight and Word Warden to persist on the battlefield, assisting on offense. So the mod configuration here is basically all stat boosting mods to get ability numbers in a good spot. I'm also running corrosive projection for some armor strip. Lastly, having preparation here is great so I can begin missions spamming overguard for myself and my allies with plenty of energy left over for Dante's offensive spells. Moving on to Arcanes and Shards, first I am running Molt Augmented for even more ability strength as encounters ensue. My other arcane is Arcane Steadfast, which offers a chance for free ability cast. With the amount of ability spam this build utilizes, especially since we're casting abilities 3 at a time for Final Verse, this is a great bonus to have. As for shards, I am running 2 casting speed yellows for quick ability spam. I'm also running 2 reds, 1 strength, and 1 duration for some additional stat padding. And lastly, I'm running a purple equilibrium shard to help with energy gains. The loadout here does not matter at all. This build's main source of damage output is Dante's 1 and his spells. I picked weapons here that fit thematically with the wizard and spellcasting theme, so my primary is a spear gun to serve as Dante's wizard staff. I'm also running Grimoire to serve as a backup tome to Noctua. Grimoire is the weapon I use in very rare occasions when I run out of energy or get silenced by violence. So the loadout is entirely up to player preference. As mentioned before, the exalted weapon Noctua is the primary source of damage output for this build. I'm using a corrosive setup to pair with my aura mod to further armor strip enemies for easy cleanup. And finally, my companion of choice is Death Cube. With the ability to produce health and energy orbs via assisting Death Cube, this companion helps Dante keep ability energy flowing. Outside of that, the companion is up to player preference. With the kit fully discussed, let's see it in action again. As mentioned previously, I begin each mission or encounter by spamming Light Burst and Triumph to give the whole team a large amount of overguard. Then I cast Page Flight and Word Warden to get my attacks going. Once I'm set up with my spells, I activate Noctua and spam my attacks on enemies, occasionally refreshing my spells and casting Tragedy to decimate rooms of Steel Path enemies. The gameplay loop is a very satisfying combination of spellcasting and projectile spamming that trivializes endgame content. I find it to be extremely fun to get into a rhythm of spellcasting with a cadence that manages energy to keep the build going. And with tens of thousands of Overguard on tap, Dante will have no problem staying alive in high enemy density encounters. Dante has been a frame that I have enjoyed for a long time, and I'm happy to finally get to share my build. But what about you? What are your thoughts on this build? What would you have done differently? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Warframe content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.